YouTube watchers, welcome to the Biotope Gallery. And today we're going to get you an update on what's going on in the fish room. Got lots of new things going on, some little projects we're going to get you guys updated on. So let's turn the camera around and show you guys what we're up to. Alright, so as you come in the fish room, we've got a bunch of going on. I've got tools. Just came back from the fish store, so I've got some things in this bag I get out and get into the water and so forth. I've got a project here with my sump, and I've got my daughter's old 5-gallon tank that's in here. Some more tools. I've got just put our brine shrimp hatchery on this side. I installed these two 10-gallon tanks. You might have seen the video a little bit on that. So a bunch is going on. The first thing we'll do here is we'll get into the bag here and see what we've got. So first thing we got is some floating fern. Nice floater. I think I'm going to put this in this bottom 10-gallon tank for now. Let me get the light on for that. This is a real nice spawn of our angelfish, our German blue busher, and our silver. Here's a bunch right here. Okay, we can focus on these guys. Probably not, but there's a bunch there. There's some on the bottom. There's a bunch in this back corner you can see. So there's a good number in there. I've just got a sponge filter, and actually this is a strawberry plant from our outdoor pond. Just moved in here, so I'm going to put the water moss in here just to help with some nitrates and see if I can get this thing to propagate a little bit. This is native to like China and India, so if it goes well, maybe I'll add it to one of those tanks there. Alright, boom, so there we go. So it is in there now. Cool thing about the water fern is it doesn't get real long roots, but it does grow pretty fast. So I'm interested to see, I've got a really low level light on here. Just a little strip that I've kind of velcroed to underneath of these braces of the other 10-gallon. So I'm going to see if it goes. We can get that thing moving and shaking and propagate and see what happens. So that's bag number one. Let's see, bag number two. Okay, I've got two. These are assassin snails. Not great light. A lot of the lights in the fish room are not on right now, but we're going to put one in the Australian tank. We're going to put one in the Australian tank because the one I had in there ended up dying. The other one is for my 10-gallon shrimp tank at work. So for now, I'm probably just going to, I'll maybe put it in this bottom 75 because I think there are some snails maybe that got through from up above. Let me see if I can get this, get this tank light on. Oh, I don't know that I'm seeing any major snails. Maybe just some baby ones here on the wall, you can see that. So I'll put them in here for that, and I'll just kind of he'll have some little snails to munch on. And there's maybe one on top of that decoration there. Anyway, put them in here and see if it'll be easy to catch out because it'll just be by himself. And so I'll put one in there and one in that guy. Okay, put the snail in there. This one is right here. And looks like he's already on the move. So that will be, yeah. Got some snails going on the shrimp tank at work, so it'll be good to add that to that. I just do one in a tank, otherwise they will breed, and I'm not looking to breed them. I just look at them as some minor snail population control. So yeah. All right. The next 3 bags we have are all live foods. At one of my local fish stores, we've got some ghost shrimp, we've got some black worms, and we've got some brine shrimp. So what I usually do is I'll just mix the brine shrimp and black worms together and spread those around. And I think the ghost shrimp, I mean, they'll definitely get eaten right away in that tank and that tank. I don't mind if they kind of last a little bit. So maybe I put them in the Australian tank. They'll definitely get eaten in the Southern China tank by the tire track eel. The Indian tank, they'll probably do okay. The giant Daniels and barbs might eat some of the smaller ones. So that's the options. I think I'm gonna go. Heck, we'll do shrimp in the Australian tank, and we'll do the rest in the rest. So I don't want to add that water, so I'll grab a little net here. So I don't mix that water. And I'll put these guys in first. Get them off and running. Okay, we've got the shrimp in the net. We're just gonna take this top off. Get those out of here. And they are gone. Top back on. Alright. Can't see them now because the light's not on, but yeah, it should be good. Doesn't look like anything's picking them off right away. Everybody else is scared on that end, so. But those good. They're great for breaking down botanicals and detritus, and if some get picked off, which they eventually will, fine. Alright, next we've got our black worms and brine shrimp. What I do, I will mix those in a little catch cup and get rid of the water, put clean water in it, and I'll just feed with a kind of turkey baster to all the tanks. So I'll get that set up for you. Alright, so I've got my catch cup. It's full of black worms and adult brine shrimp. And then this is clean water, so not from the bag. Just right from my dechlorinated water change system. And I'll take a turkey baster and I'll just get some out and put it in each tank. And it's a nice little treat. So I don't do this all the time, but when I head to the store and they've got some stuff, I'll do it. So let's show you guys how that goes. So I'll just get whatever I get, and then I'll try to do this with one hand here, but we'll see how it goes. So then we'll go to town on that. And I'll just go tank the tank and feed it out. You can see I put the net that I used in the Central American cichlid tank. They'll just pick any black worms that I can't get off the net as I'm siphoning them through or stringing them through. So I'll just take that out now, and then I'll give them a good dose. Alright, those guys are going to town there. Sorry for the reflection, but again, the lights aren't on yet, so they're just gonna rip into those black worms and brine shrimp. Let's get the Australian tank next. Okay, next the Southern China tank. This isn't a great turkey baster. It doesn't leak. It's not one of those like no leak ones. If that tire track eel comes out because of the live food, I'll try to get him on camera, but he likes to stay in there unless some food's in, live food or frozen, or it's dark. So we'll see if I can catch him out, and I'll get you guys some views of him or her. Okay, next we'll do the Central Indian tank. This one will be good to watch. These guys are crazy. Okay. I've got another spawn going on these guys. Since I've already got a bunch, I'm just gonna let them take care of those eggs. Plus I'm going out of town, so I'm just gonna let them practice on raising them up. But I'll give them some too. They will enjoy that. Trying to grow baby tears in here. It's floating right now. It takes cloudy. It's not doing great in here, so I may try something else, but I'm seeing if I can get it to float and grow, and we'll see what happens. This tank I have no fish, but I've got 3 bronze Wendii crypts. There's one there, there's a big one there, and there's a small one there in the middle of the screen. So trying to get those to grow. They are slow growing, but so far they're doing a good job. Getting some extra leaves on that big one, so be nice. This is my Mutt Endler tank in here. Not going to give any there. This one is, I've got 3 baby Pseudomugil signifers and 1 actually baby Rosy Barb that somehow made it into this bottom tank, although it doesn't drain this tank. It has to go down through the sump and pump back up, but an egg must have gotten through and grew up in that tank, so I scooped them out and put them in here with this guy. This food's too big for those. I've got gold barbs down here that are in QT and will someday make it into the Southern China tank. Not sure if they'll last in there because that eel, one thing it hasn't eaten are these paradise gouramis. But I'm gonna try to grow them up and see if we can have any luck with those in there. So I'll give them some of this. And they are gonna love on that for sure. There's a real big Bulbitis in there. I've got a big part of it's on that log, and then there's one in the back that's just glued to a rock. So, never had Bulbitis before, so I'm really looking forward to play with that and see how that goes. Got that at the Lorain County auction a couple weeks ago. So those gold barbs are cool. Biotypic to Southern China. This tank, nothing in here right now. I had a bunch of guppy grass that I also got from the auction, but it's all melted for the most part. I don't know, my water, I just cannot get guppy grass to grow. I know some of you all, you can't get rid of it. I just cannot get it going. So that's an empty tank for now. Let's check and see if our eel is out. I don't see him right yet, but we'll keep a lookout for him. So I'm going to feed the rest of this, and then the first project I've got to do is I've got to get in my sump down here that back filter sock. There's a 3/4 inch flexible hose that goes into the sump, and it's just not long enough to go into that filter sock. So I've got this interior diameter 3/4 elbow that I'm going to put on that hose and then redirect the water into that filter sock, because otherwise it just kind of spills out. So that will be, if that works, that will be great, because that's something I've been dealing with for a long time. So that'll be my first project here. Once I get it on, I'll get you guys updated. All right, team, so I think we did it for now. You can see that water is taking a hard turn and going back into the filter sock. This one's all good. You can see that water going to that one, and that one is not spilling over, so it's not glued on. So we'll see if that water pressure pushes it out at all. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the up-to-dates on that. So I call it a success. All right, let's go to the next thing. All right, the next thing is to do a water change on this system here. Again, 75 gallon, 20 long sump. And it's all connected. So what I'll do is, we had a good rain the last day or two, so I'm going to get some rainwater collected in these 2 5-gallon buckets. Get that added in here, and try to do that when I can. It's good, clean, soft water collected off of our house and then into a collection barrel. We've got a 15-gallon barrel outside the fish room, and so I'll use that today. The other project I've got in this tank is when I set this tank up, I put these media bags full of gravel to create this kind of like mound, but no matter how much sand I fill in with, it's poking in back here, it's poking in up here. I want to try to take that sandbag out, replace it with sand, and see how that goes. I've got some swords going here. Hope it's not too big of a mess, so I'm going to get some sand, do that before I do the water change. So wish me luck. That's going to be my next project, so I'll check back in when that is done. We'll see how it goes. All right, I made quite a mess. That gravel bag, I forgot how that sucker is big. I forgot how big that was. It took a lot of sand. The sand I use is just called Aquacords pool filter sand. It's real clean. You don't need to rinse it. I know it's a little murky right now, but I took that huge bag out here and displaced 3 of these swords, the 2 big ones and this little one here. And so I replanted those. I can't see great in the back, but I think they're in there good enough. I'm going to put root tabs. I'll put a tab for each plant and do my water change. And yeah, that should be about it. And I'll let that clear up. I'll show you guys maybe after it's cleared up a little bit, what it looks like. We'll check back in, but that's a huge load off my chest that I wanted to get done. And this sand and gravel will mix over time. Not too worried about that, but a lot of sand in Peru in the Amazon River, so went with sand and some small gravel mix. I do want to put some more wood structure here because the more photos I look at of this area and where angelfish like to hang out, full of sticks and stuff in the water. So over time I will add to that. I also want to get these swords really big. And maybe one more plant. I have gotten frogbit to grow here a time or two, but I've tried other floating, like redwood floaters, and like they just don't make it. So I might do some like giant hair grass or some other stuff, something like that, and fill that in too a little bit. But for now, this is where we're at. So let's get a water change, and yeah, should be good to go. All right, check back in. All right, here is my water collection system. Just comes off the roof into this 15-gallon barrel off the downspout. So I just put my shorter 5-gallon there, turn that on. Now it's full of tannins, and there'll be some debris, but never had an issue with it at all. It does have a small amount of nitrate. You know, when it comes out, you can see it's really colored, full of leaf particles and such. But again, never had any issues. It's clean rain, and other than coming in and sitting in that clean barrel, it's good. So that's our water. All right, so I decided to do with that huge bag of gravel is I put it in the sump. It's full of beneficial bacteria. It is going to cause some cloudiness in the water, as you see. Well, that'll settle out. To help that settle out, I'm going to do my water change. Now, I know what you're saying. Andy, that water is tea brown. I get it. Remember, it's only about 9 gallons. This is 170 gallons system. So it's a very small percentage. I've never had issues. It's clean. It's got a little bit of nitrate in there for the plants. And it gets sucked up pretty quick. So I'm going to do that. I'll do a water change. I'm going to put root tabs in there. Probably clean the glass up. And then I'll check back with you guys here in a little bit. All right, update. So water change is done. Root tabs are in. I use the Flourish tabs for my root tabs. Seem to do really well. They don't break down easily at all, so they're really stable. You can see already I've got Corys. They're just chasing each other around trying to breed in the soft water. I know it's brown. I know it's cloudy. It will clear up. It'll keep a little bit of a tint for a little while, but that will go away. But as you can see, like, the fish are fine. No one is gasping for air. No one is, doing a death spiral. Everybody is just as usual. Rainbow cichlids are looking great. Convict looking great. Dusky narrow hatchetfish, awesome. Rare tetra, doing great. So everybody's doing great. So we'll let that clear up, and if it clears up in time, I'll show you guys. But what I do is I put salt preemptively. I use marine salt. I do that because it's got minerals that the plants really like. So I do 1 tablespoon per 10 gallons. So this is essentially 170 gallons. So I put 17 tablespoons of marine salt. And I only do that during water changes. So yeah, so that is that set up there. Really quickly, I'm going to kind of move you guys along. Down here, just a 3-gallon. I'm trying to get to grow in here the Juncus Repens, but I just got it kind of planted in some gravel and like a little pot there. It's doing okay. Not taking off like I'd like. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. We've got our Australian biotope here, the South Johnstone River system. Sorry for the glare. The cool thing about this tank are these Stiphodon gobies. Stiphodon semini. It's like the neon blue goby. Very cool goby. I've got 9 of them in here, and they're doing great. Yeah. Nothing's picked on them. They just travel around and pick up scraps. And other cool fish I have in here is the Empire Gudgeon. Here's one here that's, got some good color on it. And the Splendida rainbow fish that can't remember what, I want to say the eastern rainbow fish, or maybe that's right. If anybody knows the common name, throw it at me, but it's a Melanotaenia Splendida. Got a Ponageton in here. This giant Val is starting to send off runners. So there's also a Nearite snail in here. This is like I think it's like the black helmet Nearite. And I haven't found our assassin snail that we put in here. I don't see where he went at. Oh, that guy was eating that. There's a dead shrimp down here that Stiphodon goby was getting after. So yeah, so they'll eat him up. It's all good, man. Ecosystem time. That's what we do in the Biotope Gallery. We build ecosystems. Let's see if we can find any more of those shrimp. They're going to be tough. I don't see any offhand, but they're going to be hiding, or they're eating already. Who knows? But either way, good for your aquarium, good for your ecosystem. They might be hiding back there in those roots. Oh, there goes my dehumidifier. Sorry about that. But we got Stiphodons up here on the plants. They clean off these leaves of plants. Great. This one up there. So yeah. There's a guy right down here in front. Boom. Doing work. What's up, little guy? Yeah, those have been great addition. All right, up here is our Southern China biotope. I've got the 7 Paradise gouramis. Lots of good videos on them. They have done great in here. No real major fighting or damage. The eel hasn't eaten them. They're the only fish I've gotten so far that have lasted in this tank. I have one Hillstream loach in here. I had a group of 5 or 6, and they all got eaten except one. I don't see him right now, but he's usually out and about. Saw him earlier. Might be on the back on the glass somewhere. I've got one trapdoor snail. They always kind of fall over, and then in a couple of days they'll right themselves up. This valve's like taking off. I've got to turn it back all the time. But I've tried. Oh, there's the Hillstream loach back here. That's the only one that's survived. Other ones I assume were eaten. I've tried white cloud mountain minnows. Then the eel eats them. I've tried Hillstream loaches. Eel eats them. I've even tried. I tried 2 goldfish, like 2 comets. Lasted about a week or 2. And then finally, the eel ate them. Doesn't bother these paradise gouramis. Like I said, the next try is going to be these gold barbs. I'm going to grow them up another week or two. And hopefully they survive. But I don't know, man. If those don't work, I might just have to get a gang of the paradise gouramis and call it a day. But they're a lot of fun. They breed in here, and so that's been good. The brine shrimp hatchery is rolling. I'm going to harvest later today. That brine shrimp is for the baby angels there. And then the Godavari River biotope here, central India. I've got a bunch of giant danios, some rosy barbs. There is one glassfish, Indian glassfish right there that survived. It was always the biggest one. I think it's a female. The other one, I had 30 of them in here. They were all a lot smaller, and they just did not do well if it wasn't frozen or live food. So they eventually just all died. I've got 2 Aponagita natans in here. There's one back here. I love this plant. It sends up these kind of lily pad type things to the top. You know, there's another one coming right there. But very cool Aponagitan, kind of mixed between Aponagitan and like a lily. And then I've got the moneywort here. There's some algae in here, trying to get that, you know, timed out, but it's natural. That's what biotopes are. There's another Aponagitan in this corner that's not really ever kind of taken off yet. You guys see that? It's cordoned away. It has not like sent off any shoots, but we'll keep pumping them with root tabs. And I do need to add another species of fish to this, or 2. I don't think the rosy barbs are necessarily biotypic. The glassfish are. The giant danios definitely are. So we'll do some more research on that and figure something out. Can we find our assassin snail down here? I don't see him right now, but I saw him earlier climbing up that wall, so he's off and running. So that'll be good. And then here's my 2 10-gallon setup. So this area here is perfect for 10 gallons on end. I've got them drilled to overflow into my overflow system there. And I've got water coming in here. So they're all in the system. And this one's got nothing in it. And this one, I've got all those baby angels. So I wish you guys could see them better. It's still a little blue from you know, the methylene blue that I put in there when they were you know, hatching in their egg form. So I'm going to do a quick water change on this. It's super easy because all I have to do is turn this dial, and I'll do like, I've calculated like 6 minutes is 10%. So I just turn that, and then water starts flowing. There and there. And they'll just overflow out the back. And super easy. I've not had a great luck with angelfish. I think the most I've gotten to adulthood is 6. But this time I've got them in our overflow system, our water change system. So I think in the past it's been an issue of water quality, I'm hoping. So this is hopefully going to fix that. And yeah, with that floating fern, Salvinia natans. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. So we'll let that go. While that's going, I'll show you the rest of this. This is a 10-gallon down here. This is the Dorsagittaria that I'm trying to propagate here. It is sending out some runners, so that's cool. Each of these kind of like quarantine breeding tanks, put in one plant to try to propagate, to either sell off or move around to other tanks. But I think it's just a fun project to mess with. We saw the gold barbs with the bulbitis before. You can see that big bulbitis on that log I put. There's another one in the corner. These gold barbs are really cool. First time I played with these guys, and I'm hoping that they make it in that southern China biotope and that tire track eel doesn't pick them off. They're bulkier than the white clouds. I think they're less derpy than the goldfish. And so hopefully they make it. Plus, like after about 2 weeks, I'll pull them out of here, and I bet you dollars to donuts we have some baby gold barbs to grow up in this tank. So it'll be a fun project. I've got my pair up here of angelfish. They've already laid eggs here. Sorry for the glare on this slate. Again, we'll just let them roll with those and see. I usually pull them, so I'm just gonna like let them go while I've got this huge batch down there. That's my cryptocorn grow outs. This is our mud endlers, and then my tank of Java fern. So these mud endlers, I've had them for a long time. I can use them as feeders. I don't really need to, but they're super clean, and not sure what to do with them other than just kind of grow them out and see what colors and designs I get. Some of them are kind of cool. There's the main male swimming back there. Some more males are coming out now. And then here are my grow outs of the signifers. So it's going to be pretty soon to move those to the Australian tank. And in the back you can see there's that rosy barb there. So crazy how it made it through the sump and then back into that lower tank. And one day I was like, what the heck is that? And it was a baby fish. So this plant here, another one. This is the, what is it? It's the one that can grow out red. It's like a red scarlet temple, I think, is the common name for it. But good root feeder, trying to get that going. It's just got on a plant weight there. And then yeah, we've got our nothing in that tank there, empty QT tank. So that's it. Hey everybody, thanks so much for coming back into the biotopes. Kind of a longer video, but had a lot to get done today. So thanks so much for visiting back in. If you like this, you want more updates, please give me a subscribe. We're pushing almost 900 subscriptions right now. And like it, share it, and really appreciate you guys tuning in. And we'll see you guys next time in the biotopes.